United States Open Tennis Championships are sponsored by Cigna, whose companies provide insurance and related services around the world. AT&T, the more you hear, the better we sound. And by Apple Computer, makers of Macintosh, the business computer you already know how to use.
The stage is now set for the men's finals here at the 1984 U.S. Open. Three-time champion John McEnroe takes on Ivan Lendl, who is making his third straight appearance in the finals, but who has yet to win. Good afternoon, and it is indeed a beautiful afternoon in New York. I'm Pat Summerall, along with our CBS tennis analyst John Newcomb and Tony Trabert. Let's get right to the matter. How do you think Ivan Lendl will play this afternoon, John?
Well, he did win their last encounter, which was the final of the French Championships, coming back from 2 sets to love down. Can't be real happy with his form after yesterday's performance, although right at the end of the match, he played unbelievable. Cash serving for the match, 6-5, 30 love. Lendl just played some great tennis to get out of it. So he finished on a high, but his forehand wasn't good, and his first serve wasn't good. He's going to have some problems in winning this match today. He'll have to lift his game another 10-15%.
And John McEnroe had a very difficult match against Jimmy Connors late last night. How is his health, Tony?
Well, his health is fine, Pat. I called the trainer, Bill Norris, who said his leg is fine. He's in good shape. They had a good night's sleep, and they're lucky that they have a 4 o'clock start because they had a chance to get a sleep, and they played a long match yesterday as well. He feels good, so I think it's going to be a very close match. However, I think John McEnroe can really win it. His serve is very good. He's very quick at the net, and I think we'll see John McEnroe try to do the same thing against Ivan Lendl he tried to do against Jimmy Connors, and that is take the second serve at least, return it, and come into the net. He did it on clay in the French successfully until he ran out of gas. He's been doing it successfully ever since. He did it at Wimbledon, and I expect him to do the same thing here. If John McEnroe serves well, he should win fairly comfortably. I don't mean 2-1 and 2, but fairly easily. If he does not serve well, it's going to be a dogfight. But both players are in good shape. Lendl, of course, on the right, McEnroe on the left.
And as I mentioned a minute ago, it is a beautiful day in New York City. And it has been. The weather has just been perfect with one brief day of rain. Outside of that, it's been terrific. Packed house, as you would expect. It's going to be hard to top what happened yesterday and last night, as we had perhaps one of the great days of all time in tennis history. Started at noon yesterday and didn't finish until Connors and McEnroe finished things off last night, and it was late.
Pat, there has to be a fair amount of pressure on Lendl today. Nobody would like to lose 3 U.S. Open finals in a row, and he's lost the last 2 to Jimmy Connors. So that has to be a contributing factor, I think, as we come into this match. Of course, he won't be thinking of that much while he's playing.
Here is how John McEnroe got to the final.
Dalswell in straight sets easily, then beat Edberg straight sets, Moyer straight sets, and of course the one really tough match yesterday against Jimmy Connors last night, 6-3 in the 5th set. A seesaw battle, anyone could have won it.
And here's how Ivan Lendl made it.
Well, Lendl, a few problems along the way there, lost a set to Eddie Edwards. And then that match yesterday, 7-6 in the 5th set. Gee, he came back, as I said a while ago, thought he was down and out.
McEnroe to serve. Ready?
Cash had a match point. Lendl came up with that fabulous lob. Anyway, that's yesterday. That's history. This is today.
I think we're going to see some offensive lobs by Lendl because he knows McEnroe likes to close in as well.
Yesterday, indeed, was history. It was great to be a part of it.
Well, we saw yesterday Connors used the offensive lob very effectively against McEnroe when he closed in on the net.
And Lendl did against Cash as well.
McEnroe ripped off 20 aces against Connors last night. And that's a lot against anybody, but against someone who returns as well as Connors, it really is a lot.
That was interesting.
He lost that completely, didn't he?
It came straight at him.
Well, he's coming out of the shadow into the sunlight, and sometimes that quick adjustment is very difficult.
McEnroe holds a 10-9 lifetime lead over Lendl.
Perfect.
All.
They've had unusual career against one another, haven't they? McEnroe dominated early, and then Lendl won about 7 in a row.
And McEnroe came back, and he's dominated later.
It's a good deep second serve for this early in the match.
And Lendl is standing on the baseline or inside. He was well inside the baseline trying to return that second serve. He normally stands way back because he wants to take a big swing, have time to swing at it. So he's standing in closer, walking forward.
Game McEnroe, he went.
McEnroe holds. After that tough match against Connors, we asked McEnroe about Lendl. Here's what he had to say.
Well, I didn't think that Lendl played all that great, though, but he certainly hit the great shots when he needed to at the end. But the pressure might be off him a little bit because he's gotten to the finals now, and he doesn't have that much to lose. Of course, he'd like to win this tournament, but I would say that I'm the favorite. Well, I'm going to play a similar type of game that I played in the French. I'm going to attack him and come in on him and make him hit winners and play an attacking game on my part. But you know, it depends on if he serves as badly as he did today. I think that I'll have a good chance. If I serve as well or better than I did today, I mean, you know, he doesn't have the return that Jimmy does. Just to conserve as much as I can and just try to concentrate and get it over with as soon as possible. Just really go out there and just try my best right off and hope that that's good enough.
Into the net.
Forehand down the line that we were talking about.
Love
which is
15.
Yvonne's favourite shot. And that time, why he missed the shot, he wanted to hit it there. McEnroe just stood there.
He didn't go anywhere. He went right to the line.
McEnroe just stood there and said, I know you're going to hit it here. So he hit it out.
Surprised to see Lendl at the net so quickly.
15
all. Those of you who've been watching the Eagles beat the Vikings 19-17, welcome to the men's final at the U.S. Open, the National Tennis Center. McEnroe against Yvonne Lendl. McEnroe won the first game on his serve. Lendl leads now serving 40-15. Quickly, it's 1-all. Good service game by Lendl.
1-all.
Those of you who missed McEnroe's comments, he said after he finished so late last night in his tough match against Connors that he's going out and going for it right from the beginning, do his very best right from the start, make it as short as possible. Made those comments, excuse me, at the press conference, at his press conference last night.
Very effective serve, lefty to righty, particularly when a fellow's going to take a big looping backswing. That tight went into the body. Lendl stepped around, tried it a forehand, the ball keeps cutting into his body. Good lob.
Missed it.
He made a good lob out of that, didn't he, from a very tough position. I think he wanted to drive it at the start, then realised it got behind him and McEnroe was covering the passing shot. That's what we call a defensive lob, when you put it up high in the air and just try to get the person back from the net. Offensive lob is when you're trying to get it over their head for a winner.
That's low trajectory kind.
Quiet, please.
Those of you who watched the Lions beat the Falcons in overtime 27-24.
15-30.
We're at the National Tennis Center for the men's singles final. McEnroe and Lendl tied at a game apiece. McEnroe serving at 15-30. Pat Summerall with Tony Trabert and John Newcomb.
This is the first real test. It's only early in the match. See where McEnroe elects to serve this ball. 15-30 point, of course, is a much bigger point than if you were leading 30-15, so you would tend to try to go to the other player's weakness.
That's a weakness. That's McEnroe's second ace.
On a second serve, 15-30 down, that's a pretty brave effort.
It also says that he respects the return of serve of Lendl. He can't just cripple in because he knows Ivan will knock it right past him.
He's gone to the body on the forehand side here 3 or 4 times already on the second serve.
40-30.
Looks as though he wants to keep that second serve very tight around the body, Tony, whether it's on his forehand or backhand.
Lendl leads McEnroe 3-1 when they played on a cement court similar to this.
That's rather surprising, isn't it?
That was in that, I think, that one period when Lendl was dominating McEnroe.
Deuce.
That's his first double fault. And it's back at deuce. Using a machine, Cyclops they call it, to call the service line. They also have a linesperson there as well.
Advantage, McEnroe.
There's the machine.
And that Cyclops covers an area about 12 inches behind the service line. And if it hits in that area, it beeps. If it hits beyond that area, it does not beep. So it's up to the linesperson to call a fault. That's where we've had a few problems in the past.
Right now, McEnroe's having a problem with somebody in the stands.
Deuce.
I'll be interested to see if Lendl tries to pass cross-court off the backhand more, because he normally goes down the line.
I was just going to say, if he keeps that up all day, he's going to make you a believer in his cross-court backhand passing shot.
Advantage, McEnroe.
3 aces for John. holds and leads 2-1.
McEnroe leads.
New York City in the back down. Lendl.
Well, that's pretty good to take that first serve and get into the net behind it.
That one took me by surprise. We saw him doing it to Connors last night, but Lendl has a harder first serve than Connors.
Let's check out what happened today in the NFL. The Cardinals rolled over Buffalo 37-7. The Bears won again 27-0. Kansas City beat Cincinnati 27-22. Miami over New England 28-7. More in a minute. 30 love. Lendl serving. The Giants upset Dallas 28-7. In overtime, it was Detroit 27-24 over Atlanta. Philadelphia beat Minnesota 19-17. New Orleans over Tampa Bay 17-13. And so far, you're up to date.
And Lendl serving at 40 love.
Became evident in that game. Lendl seems as though he's going to go after his second serve to stop McEnroe chipping and charging the net if he can, and also he appeared anxious to get to the net when he got a short ball.
He did. And again, typically of Lendl, when he comes in on a good approach shot, so it makes the volleying pretty easy. He closed in very well and smartly on that one.
2-2. In a match against Cash yesterday, 5-setter, Lendl came to the net 35 times, won 19 points. Against Connors yesterday and last night, McEnroe came to the net 138 times, won 72 points.
I remember we were getting tired counting. McEnroe is obviously going to be the one that comes in more, but Lendl can't give him the net. Can't just let him occupy it by himself. Otherwise, he's not going to win. This court surface is a medium-fast pace. The person who gets to the net first has the advantage.
15 all.
Mr. and Mrs. McEnroe. Nuke, would you say that the balls are fast? I hear the players talking about that.
I think they're too fast. They're using the regular duty balls, not the heavy duty. The heavy duty have a slightly heavier cloth on it.
Right.
Wait, please.
The reason they did that was because the women are playing with the regular duty and they didn't want to get mixed up, I guess, with the mixed doubles and everything. But most of the men would prefer the heavy duty.
$30-15.
Not too many empty seats.
I don't see any.
This is the toughest ticket there is. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I thought you'd spotted some. I was going to run outside and sell it.
Not too late.
Got him.
That is some shot.
Here's another look. See, McEnroe sort of guides this forehand volley. Doesn't even put much on it. He doesn't think Lendl can get there. When he gets there, he certainly doesn't think he can do this. See him covering down the line, way over. Here's an isolation. See the good flick of the wrist. Lendl standing there. His job is done. He didn't make that shot. I mean, if it wasn't a good lob, he's finished anyway.
Tremendous serve.
That was interesting where McEnroe was standing at the net. He was giving him the cross court, completely blanketing the down the line pass.
40.
That's that serve
30.
again. Just jammed to his body.
Game McEnroe.
McEnroe leads 3-2 in the first set of the men's final. We're in the first set. John McEnroe leading Ivan Lendl 3-2. And Lendl about to serve to try to get even.
$15
Again, McEnroe was trying to take that return and move to the net, but Lendl, anticipating it, was serving and volleying himself. Little game of cat and mouse going on out there right now.
McEnroe really played that approach shot well. Didn't take a big backswing for control and just really hit it with a lot of good pace. Placed it well. First serve percentage thus far. Lendl 55, McEnroe 45. Lendl appears to have pretty good rhythm on his serve today as against yesterday.
You observe when they get into a rally,
15,
McEnroe is playing
30.
from the baseline or inside the baseline when they're having a rally to one another from the back of the court. Lendl is about 5 or 6 feet behind the baseline. McEnroe constantly looking for that ball to attack the net behind.
Helena Stasi has joined us in the booth.
In case we get into an argument down on the court, he can explain the rules to us.
He got married yesterday. It's a heck of a place to spend your honeymoon.
It is if you can get away with it.
Break point for McEnroe. First break point of the match.
40.
30-40.
Forehand really riddled at Lendl.
Game McEnroe.
Ivan guessed properly, but just couldn't handle the shot. It came, he was so close, McEnroe was, and hit it so hard that Ivan's volley popped up in the air, and the rest was academic. So McEnroe has the first break of the match, serving at 4-2.
McEnroe and Connors had a couple of those exchanges at the net last night. He couldn't even see the ball.
Now that's the one where McEnroe's got to get over to cover the down the line. There's no other place that Lendl could even possibly try to hit the ball because he's going to be so late getting to it.
First serve.
Pretty good half volley.
30, love.
Ivan Lendl looks much, much more relaxed than he was the last couple of years in the finals. He's been in enough of them now.
First serve.
And as he said, he got the monkey off his back by winning the Grand Slam at the French Open, Grand Slam tournament.
It was a pretty hard road, though. He had to do to win it 2-0 down.
He was so excited and caught up in the situation that he actually threw up a little bit after the match. That's his nerves were such, but it was a great thing for him to win that one.
He was a very heavy monkey.
Well, like you said, he got tired of answering those questions. Why can't you win in the finals of a Grand Slam event? Martina went through that. Why can't you win the Open? Now they don't ask her those questions anymore.
Forty love McEnroe. He leads 4-2 first set. Lendl may not stay that relaxed much longer.
Ranked #1 the last 3 years, John McEnroe. Of course, won this event 3 years in a row, 79, 80, and 81.
That was some smoke. McEnroe leads 5-2 first set.
McEnroe leads 5-2
first set. Lendl about to serve.
love.
Third ace by Ivan.
The way these guys serve and play, one service break can be crucial per set. When you have someone that's not really a great server, you have a chance to break their serve more often.
Love.
Beautiful day.
It's been a beautiful 2 weeks. Speaking of how beautiful and how nice it is, forecast is clear. Wind south 7 miles an hour. A temperature of an ideal 75 degrees.
And the wind is no real factor.
Especially not down there.
Right. Good for the players.
15.
He's going to have to get a lot of first serves in today, Lendl.
He was coming in behind that one, too, which I think is smart.
Every time he misses that first serve, he's in trouble.
He's up 40-15. Let's see what happens to this one. That's what happened. McEnroe's on top of the net immediately. The Raiders over Green Bay 7-0. That's in the second quarter. Be a lot of points scored in that one.
Game, Lendl.
That makes it 5-3 McEnroe in the first. If he is fatigued in any way after that tough match last night against Connors, it doesn't show so far.
I think the main concern was whether his leg was okay, and Bill Norris, the trainer, said that his hamstring tightened up a little bit and it affected him a little bit below the knee, but he worked on him this morning and he's fine. Both players 100% fit.
Amazing how fast the young body heals.
Go to Lendl's forehand on his second serve. That's
15.
Lendl's forehand is one of his big weapons.
Checking some scores. Houston 14. The Indianapolis Colts 7. Rams and Cleveland tied at 7 second quarter. San Diego up over Seattle 10-0.
I wonder how Franco's going to do in that game.
He hasn't scored a touchdown yet. 30 love.
How'd you know that?
I've been around the game a long time.
First serve. Love.
And triple set point for John McEnroe.
First set goes to McEnroe, 6-3. Lendl serving first game, second set. Missed it wide.
15 love.
35 minutes, heavy lap so far in this men's final.
There wasn't a lot to that first set, was there?
Just that one service break.
That's right.
You know, I keep saying lightning because you go along, cruise along, holding serve, and all of a sudden, bingo, a few mistakes, and it's over.
It's a great stretch from McEnroe there.
You know, it could be, Nick, think about what happened here yesterday and the great tennis that we saw. It could be we were just spoiled.
164 games were played on the center court yesterday, plus 2 tiebreakers. We had most of that on television. Just the first set and a half of yours, Nuke, was not on the air. It was part of that 164 games. That's a lot of tennis.
It was all very good. McEnroe, by the way, Nuke, says it was your fault that he had to wait so long to play.
I heard his press conference. I knew I'd get the blame there somewhere.
30-15.
Just over.
Grow some hair.
Oh, that's cute. He misses the ball over the baseline. He says the baselinesman whose ball grows some hair.
He takes it out on the takes it out on the baselinesman because he missed the lob.
I guarantee you, John, the guy would if he could.
Thank you.
That's one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
Game, Lendl.
Game to Lendl. And we'll be back with more tennis action after this word from your local station.
Love 30.
Love 30, double fault.
First real chance for Lendl here. He did have a 15-30 game on McEnroe's serve in the first set. Couldn't take advantage of it. Matter of fact, McEnroe served an ace on the second serve.
It's just where McEnroe seems to be able to reach back and get it when he needs it.
Straight at the body on the backhand side.
30.
Lendl's got to be looking for that again now.
One of the ways you try to handle that is start in a little different position from the return and slide along the baseline, so sort of be a moving target. Don't get yourself way out of position, but move a little bit laterally.
He should be able to get a swing at this one.
Second serve.
Didn't have to swing at it.
40.
15-40.
2 double faults in this game.
Double break point.
From Lendl's point of view, he must take advantage of this game and try to break. He's not going to get too many chances to break serve, especially being presented with a double fault at 15:30.
So that's a bad break for Lendl.
But you talk about quick reactions. That's just an example.
30.
The athletic ability that McEnroe has.
Yeah, he did a 360.
Oh, Bull almost came back and ran into him, didn't
yeah.
he?
Still break point for Lendl. Great attendance throughout this U.S. Open.
The most ever anywhere.
Yep.
Any tournament.
Prize money's not too bad either. $160,000 to the winner of this event, $80,000 to the runner-up.
You can ride first class for a while.
Funny, I was thinking about gas money. There's the total attendance. Over 431,000.
Lendl's forehand landed very short in the court.
Advantage.
Packed house today.
Yesterday, Lendl didn't time his forehand that great. And
Game, McEnroe.
Lendl had his chances, but McEnroe gets even at 1-all. Second set.
1 game all.
as I said a while ago, you're not going to get too many chances against a guy like McEnroe, and you better try to take advantage of them. Probably a little unlucky there with that net cord.
Yeah, he really nailed that one. If that had been over the net, I don't know what McEnroe would have done with it, but it was a little bit unlucky for the Czech.
Wide, please.
Out, late call, but it was out.
The lady on the line there had a really good look at it before she called.
Yeah, she was a little tentative.
That's what McEnroe's looking at now.
There's forehand. McEnroe stayed in that corner, and let's see if we can tell.
No, that's
Let her go. I don't know. It's tough to tell.
Tough to tell, but it looked like it was on the line.
$30 love.
He just yelled his ladies. I guess because she's got lots of hair, you can't say anything to her.
McEnroe doesn't want to discriminate. You know, he's going to pick on the ladies and the men.
No, only bald men.
And bald boy. Well, we'll see. It's early.
No, bald men, not bald boys. Yeah, it's a good approach shot.
30-15.
Right down the middle of the court, 3 or 4 inches from the line. Gave Lendl absolutely no angle to work with.
Out. 30 off.
McEnroe will try to get in if he can, if the serve's not too tough.
He is very quick.
And unless you hit a perfect shot, he managed to get there because he's so fast and got those great hands. He can soften up the volleys when he has to. He can put a little extra on them. He missed it.
That's a bad one.
Missed it. Oh, man. Dude, oh, it wasn't even close. Wasn't even close.
McEnroe's right about this one.
The umpire's saying no. He called it good.
Ball was good.
He's got a reason to be upset.
Nicholson watching the tennis. Had a nice chat with him.
Quiet, please.
Here's another look at it.
Well, his body blocked out most of our view, but you could still see it was out.
It was a good 6 inches out.
Quiet, please.
Not that far, maybe.
I wonder what he's going to say to his friend on the baseline. The one he made the comment to before.
That's a bad break, brother. That was a break point. Put him up 2-1 with a break. Another break point. Just missed.
Deuce. Advantage, Lendl.
Two good serves by Lendl.
He leads
2-1 Lendl. Second set.
It's like a touchdown or a field goal.
McEnroe serving.
15 love. First serve.
At the change of ends, then they changed all the Lions people on the court, whole new bunch. Do they have a time for that, you know, Tony?
Yeah, they do.
45 minutes or something?
Yeah, I think they do it just about every hour, I believe. It's a little less than an hour now.
I think it's as close to an hour as they think they can get on a court change. Next Saturday, CBS Sports presents college football. The Washington Huskies against Michigan. Upset #1 ranked Miami yesterday. Live at noon Eastern Time. We're live right now at the National Tennis Center in a packed stadium for the men's final between John McEnroe and Ivan Lendl. McEnroe has won the first set.
15.
He just served his 4th double fault. Lendl is up 2-1 in the second set.
McEnroe served 2 doubles in his last service game, was down 2 break points, then played 4 great points to get out of it. Heard the beep.
Yes.
Beep went off.
Yes, it did.
Yes, it did, John. The beep did go off. He could do some amazing things with that racket.
40-15.
It's a play that I think players could do more frequently. When you got an opponent in the corner, they normally have to get out of there to try to cover the cross-court shot. You go in behind them. They have to stop, turn around, get the racket ready, and make a swing. That's pretty tough.
40.
It's the first
30.
real forehand return that Lendl has timed with any certainty. Good cross-court backhand. Lots of topspin. It was short, though, the volley.
Yeah, very short.
12 winners for Lendl, 11 for McEnroe.
Mistimed that forehand return.
2-2.
What do you think it might be with his forehand that he's mistiming so many of them? And there was that one forehand yesterday that he absolutely choked on.
Hit on the throat, yeah. I think he's not looking at it, frankly. He's sort of peeking a little bit, trying to see where he's going to hit it. I think about the mechanics a little bit more.
I wonder if the time of day has anything to do with it.
Well, there's nothing wrong with this time of day. You're seeing as well. I know dusk could be a little more difficult.
Well, he's got shadows on one part of the court.
Love 15.
The lights are on, by the way. So when the transition time does come between daylight and darkness, it'll be more gentle.
Oh, he might have missed it. Yeah, that was very risky to smash it
15
like that.
all.
That's a better forehand then.
30-15.
Plenty of depth.
Times at net. Lendl in the semifinal, 13-9. And today already, just in the second set, it's been 13 times. Change in tactic.
Oh, that's a terrific shot. They're right in front of his parents.
40-15.
That one was timed.
Just pulled the trigger.
Lendl leads in the second set.
Lendl leads.
John McEnroe set to serve, trailing 3-2 in the second set. McEnroe in the first set, 6-3.
$15 love. Love.
John and Chris. Lloyd.
I have not seen Chris more disappointed in a long, long time than she was yesterday at that match. And she was quoted as saying later that when you get that close to Martina and in a match and get that kind of a shot, you really want to take advantage of it. And she thought she played well. And she was terribly disappointed. And what a wonderful match it was.
She did play well.
Oh,
30-15.
lost that one completely.
Don't forget next Saturday, on Sports Saturday, WBC World Super Welterweight Championship, Thomas Hearns against Fred Hutchings. Woodward and the Futurity Stakes, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
The hitman,
Thomas Hearns.
Duran to sleep. Second round, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, what a beautiful shot.
Lendl started to hit out on a few more balls. This one, you can see when he got the swinging room, a lot of the time McEnroe's been serving at his body, not giving him room to swing. I guess that's why he's serving at his body. When he gives him swinging room, look out.
40-30.
McEnroe uses his serve as, I think, as well as anyone I've ever seen in tennis. I guess just like a good baseball pitcher, keeps changing it up, the direction, the pace, spin.
Used it pretty well. Game to McEnroe. That's his 6th ace. And it's 3-3 in the second.
It's also very hard to pick the direction that McEnroe is going to serve.
Rod Laver in the back in the red. On the left in the hat, Fred Perry and his wife Bobby. Don Budge and his wife Lori. Frankie Parker. Behind, Virginia Wade. Big Jake Kramer. Ty. What a group we've got of former champions. Vic Satius, Althea Gibson. All enjoying the tennis. Most of them stuck it out for the 11+ hours yesterday. A lot of people did.
15 all.
It's really nice how the USTA brings, gives them the tickets to come to the matches and all that. Never used to do that in the past, did they?
No. Stan Molest does the same thing at the National Clay Court Championships in Indianapolis.
Lendl serving at 3-3.
$30-15.
Talked about how important it is for Lendl to get his first serve into play. He's winning every time his first serve goes in. He's winning 72% of those points.
$40-15.
Before this game, he was averaging 60% of his first serves into play.
$40-30.
Still amazes me how he does that. He takes the first serve and no backswing on his approach shot, just sort of stabs it out in front. That
The racket's
loose racket,
loosely, about 42 pounds.
I guess that helps him to do it. I don't know how he controls it so well, though.
The book on Lendl off the backhand side as he passes down the line, but early in the match he went cross-court several times, and that time McEnroe was not cheating down the line. He was going up the middle and hoping he could pick it. Had Lendl made it, McEnroe wasn't even close.
That is McEnroe.
Where he made that passing shot from, well inside the baseline. Return of serve, setting it up. Lendl caught down at his feet, having to just scoop the ball up. Opening was there.
Lendl's really starting the other way. Break point.
Yeah, McEnroe faked him out well on that one. Looked like he was going to go down the line.
McEnroe quickly breaks Lendl. Leads 4-3 in the second. Won the first 6-3. Men's final, McEnroe and Lendl. McEnroe coming off a service break. About to serve.
$15 love.
First time they've played since that 5-set final in the French Open.
I was there and watched the whole thing.
Too good.
You said 30 got tired in that final.
He did get tired. Watch this right here.
Just hands.
Yep. But look where the ball went. It's back live at 30 love.
40 love.
Lendl's being forced into a six.
Times at net, percentage of points won. The semifinal match for McEnroe, 52. Today, 64. Those statistics come courtesy of the Burroughs Corporation. All of ours have throughout the tournament.
McEnroe. McEnroe leads 5-3.
I was going to say, Pat, that Lendl is being forced into a situation where McEnroe is putting such pressure on him that he's having to come up with unbelievable shots to win points. I don't know how he gets out of this vice.
15 love.
It's like he's being squeezed and there's no escape.
Serving like that will help.
Was a little lucky. He didn't know anything about that volley. Didn't know anything about it.
30 love.
You like the way he turned around and walked away like, take that?
Walked away while the ball was still bouncing.
That's right.
Some scores in the NFL. Cleveland and the Rams tied at 10-10, second quarter. Indianapolis Colts 21-14 over Houston. Green Bay and the Raiders now tied at 7-7, and San Diego 10-7 over Seattle.
What do you do? The last point he says, oh, I'll serve him volley. Change my tactics. Oh, okay, I won't serve him volley. Lendl's trying everything.
40-30.
In the French championships in the finals, McEnroe won the first two sets 6-3, 6-2, and everybody just shaking their heads how well he played. Then Lendl came back and won 6-4, 7-5, 7-5. So I know both players are aware of. Well, remember that one.
That makes it 5-4 McEnroe in the second set.
McEnroe leads 5.
McEnroe about to serve.
15 love.
Serving for the set.
He won the first set.
I guess Lendl could say, well, I've been here before and I've got out of it and won, but that was on the slow clay courts at Roland Garros Stadium in Paris.
He could say that, but he'd like to get out of it right now.
He'd rather not be down 2 sets to love. Just thinking back to that game early in this set, 15-40, he had McEnroe on the serve.
30 love.
40 love.
3 set points.
McEnroe with applause. Can't play much better than McEnroe played that set.
Ladies and gentlemen, please hold your
Match
seats.
time, 1 hour and 14 minutes.
Quiet, please.
If you missed yesterday at the U.S. Open, you missed one of the great days in the history of tennis.
I've never seen anything like it anywhere.
Lendl serving.
Love 15.
I know it's against his nature to do it, Ivan Lendl, but I think he's got to just start serving and volleying and take a shot at it.
Well, he's tried it more than normal already.
That's right.
Got to get that first serve in. First serve percentage for Lendl is 66%. Really not that bad as hard as he goes at it. McEnroe 57.
Not comfortable down on the low volley at all, is he?
Well, he has that Western sort of grip on the forehand, and it makes it a very flat type volley. It's fine on the high ones, but tougher on the low ones. Great point.
Just not used to being there.
Got to give McEnroe so much credit. He's forcing Lendl to play the game that he doesn't like to play.
Different kind of game, right?
Because McEnroe's playing so well.
With more tennis action after this word.
Lendl appears to be a little bit confused right now. Like Nuke mentioned, he's tried a lot of different things, and none of it's really worked.
Well, he doesn't really have a game plan, does he? I mean, sometimes he's serving and volleying, and then that works for a while, and then it doesn't work, so he says, I better stay back. And when he stays back, McEnroe comes in.
He's trying to counteract what McEnroe's doing.
Really have to wonder what can he do? McEnroe's playing so well.
He has to figure out, I guess, what does he do best?
That's stay back, rally, and make passing shots. That's what he really does best against most people.
That's not most people.
First serve.
Ooh.
40-15.
Tough one to let go by.
Yeah, when you got a guy hung up in the bleachers.
I think when you're on a roll like Mac is at the moment,
everything works.
Everything works, yeah.
Times at the net. Points won. 29 out of 44 for McEnroe. 14 out of 23 for Lendl.
To win a point.
Oh, a great service return and a great cross-court backhand.
40-30.
Shoot bullets, but they got to go in.
That's about how he is winning his points, too.
That's right.
He does something great.
Game McEnroe.
Game to McEnroe, nevertheless.
McEnroe leads.
One thing Lendl has done on his serve, because of that pressure of McEnroe coming in on his second serve, he's taken some of the pace off his first serve, and that's in a way that's taken away one of his big weapons.
Right,
that's more a three-quarter pace first serve that he's
15 love.
using now to try to serve and volley.
30, love.
Serving and bowling on his second serve.
30-15.
Has he done that for the tournament yet?
I don't know, but do you see McEnroe step in early, use the speed on the ball, just almost block it cross court. No big swing at it.
Close to awesome.
It's great play.
Here's another look at it.
40, 30.
McEnroe watching, he'll close in, waiting for the down the line forehand. Please go out. No way.
Let's just have a look at McEnroe down the other end of the court, how he moves in, standing on the baseline at the moment, and start moving forward. Taking the ball so early. And then he's just cutting off the court.
Hits down on it almost.
Oh. That's good.
Edging up. Started in, went back.
Advantage, Lendl.
It's one of the few mishits. I guess what you do in this situation, Tony, you just hang in there as long as you can and stay on the court and hope the guy tools off a little bit. You never know.
No, that's right. They serve can go off. Just miss a few shots.
As you said at the French, everybody's shaking their head thinking that's the end of the match.
Yep.
I know a lot of people were watching in Australia. They went to bed because it was late at night. It was about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. They went to bed. They woke up in the morning and they were mad with themselves because they missed one of the great matches of all time.
Yep.
Deuce.
It'd go down as one of the great comebacks of all time, wouldn't it?
Would have to. Have to.
Advantage, Lendl.
Crowd clapping and encouraging Ivan Lendl.
He's probably thinking, where were you yesterday when I needed you? They were all getting behind the underdog Cash.
Right.
Oh,
Really just jumping on that second serve.
Ivan's sort of smiling as if to say, well, what do you want me to do?
Great point for John McEnroe.
advantage, McEnroe.
Winners 25-20 in favor of McEnroe.
Quiet, please.
bit of pressure on this second serve.
I got a feeling he's going to serve to the backhand, not to the forehand this time.
Second serve. Uh-oh. Game, McEnroe.
McEnroe breaks and leads 3-love in the third.
Back live, he has 2 service breaks, serving at 3-love. Service breaks, the serve, big weapon, obviously, for McEnroe.
15-love.
Tony, I know you've written a book about the serve and what a key it is to winning tennis. In fact, that's the name of the book, isn't it?
It is. It's coming out shortly, and you know, it starts everything. And if you serve well, McEnroe's a great example. You dictate policy.
That's exactly what John McEnroe has done. Dictate everything.
Love.
Feedback, who is worked
40-15
Lendl, good friends. He's very disappointed at this stage for his pal. Even if Ivan Lendl does not win, he can hold his head up. 3rd time in a year, 3 times in a row in the finals.
Game McEnroe.
Game McEnroe, and he's just playing too well.
McEnroe leads
in admiration, I'm sure.
And I'm sure some apprehension because they too were in Paris.
Quiet, please.
Things were looking so good, and all of a sudden the bottom dropped out. Doesn't look like that's going to happen here, though.
Things are going to happen pretty quick.
Out. 15-love.
McEnroe could still be on a roll from last night.
He's certainly
30
lifted his game another notch this year from the year before.
Well, you pointed out last night when he was playing against Jimmy Connors, when they got started in the 5th set, he seemed to just
change gear,
move it up another level.
Suddenly went into overdrive. Which is pretty hard to imagine that he could have, because they're playing unbelievable tennis out there for 4 sets, and suddenly he raised his game another level.
Yeah, you really have to take your hat off to the winners, but also those that didn't win, who fought so hard, so valiantly, and was so close. Pat Cash, Chris Everett Lloyd, Jimmy Connors.
40-15.
That's the first double fault for Ivan Lendl.
Does he have an ace yet?
Yeah, he has 3.
3. That's low for him. Normally he serves more than that.
But again, McEnroe has made him take some speed off that first serve to get more of them in.
Game Lendl.
4-1. McEnroe leads 3rd set. John McEnroe serving 4-1. 3rd set. missed it down the line. Still to come this afternoon.
15 left.
The rest of this match, of course. Then the championship presentation, the NFL Today, scores and highlights of what happened around the NFL. And some of the women's doubles final. Martina Navratilova back on the court. That'll be on tape.
This 4-1 lead is pretty huge with 2 service breaks.
30 love.
Lendl having a look. He's not sure whether that was in or out, but
he's also smiling to himself and saying, what on earth do I have to do to win a point?
He hit an unbelievable return then. Never even saw the volley.
And normally when you hit that strong a return, you at least get a swing at another ball.
That's right.
30-15.
30-15. That's McEnroe's 6th double fault.
That's a lot. He served 8 aces and 6 double faults. They almost negate one another.
You think McEnroe can play better next year than this year?
He thinks so. He's very candid in saying, when I play my best, I don't think anyone can beat me. But he also knows that he doesn't always play his best. He has lost twice in 1984, the French final to Lendl, and in the ATP Championships in Cincinnati to Vijay Amritraj. 65-2 up to this point. Good get. Good hustle by Lendl. I didn't think there was any way he would get to it. Here's another look. Lendl starting hard to his right, has to change directions.
Wasn't much he could do when he got there.
No.
40-15.
McEnroe, change balls, please.
5-1. McEnroe in the third.
McEnroe leads.
Won the first set 6-3. Won the second set 6-4.
You know, it's interesting to me that when you look in the record books and people talk about great matches, they're between 2 great players in a big event, and it's normally a close match. But a lot of times, some player may play great tennis, and if there's a blowout, in effect, the scores aren't close, so it doesn't go down as a terrific match. I think Wimbledon final was one of those.
Yeah, someone said to me, wasn't it disappointing? I said, if you watch the match, you had a treat. And if you something exceptional.
And if you understand the game. 1-5.
15 love.
This is similar.
McEnroe served better at Wimbledon in the final than he has today, if you can believe that.
Did he volley any better?
No, I don't think so. McEnroe really held that one, so waited to see which way Lendl was going to go.
Looks as if Ivan has just about resigned himself to what's going to happen today.
He's trying his best.
$15-30.
Tony Trabert has gone down courtside to help with the presentation, and John McEnroe has won the men's championship of the U.S. Open in 1984. His 4th time. Yes, I think everybody would agree, John. You are #1.
I don't think anybody could dispute that.
Very, very impressive display of just about every shot in anybody's repertoire exhibited by John McEnroe, U.S. Open champion. Well, John Newcomb, he said last night at his press conference that after he had to play so late against Connors, here is Ivan Lendl, a very dejected, understandably so loser. 6-3, 6-4, 6-1. McEnroe overwhelming. But getting back to what I was saying, he said, after having to play so late, I am coming out as quickly and as fast and as hard as I can and get it over with as quickly as I can. You saw the trophy, which he will receive in just a minute. Tony has made it down to the court. We'll be back with the presentation in just a minute. The championship presentation to the champion John McEnroe. Then we'll be swinging it back to our New York studios for the NFL Today scores and highlights of what happened in the NFL. And then we'll have a tape of the women's doubles final, which was played earlier today. Right now, let's go down to the court and Tony Trabert.
Ladies and gentlemen, could we have your attention a moment, please? First of all, how about a nice round of applause for our runner-up and champion, Ivan Lendl and John McEnroe. To make the first presentation, it's a pleasure to introduce the first Vice President of the USTA, Mr. Randy Gregson.
Yvonne, on behalf of the United States Tennis Association, it's my pleasure to award you a silver ball emblematic of being a finalist in a national championship. John, for you, a gold ball, the winner. Congratulations.
And now to present the checks, Mr. J. Patrick Barrett, Chairman and CEO of Avis.
Thank you, Tony. On behalf of Avis, we are proud to present the runner-up check to Ivan Lendl. Congratulations. And the winner's check from Avis to John McEnroe. Congratulations.
Those that are not aware, the winner's check is for $160,000. Runner-up, $80,000. And now to present the trophy to the winner, the president of the USTA, Mr. Hunter Delatour.
John, congratulations on winning. This is your 4th U.S. Open title. We wish you all the best. Here's the traditional trophy.
I don't really know what to say. It's just an incredible feeling right now. I'm feeling it's been a few years since I've been in this spot, and I'm really happy to be here once again, and especially in New York. But I want to thank Avis for presenting me with that wonderful check. And supply of rental cars for the rest of my life, free of charge. That's something I just added. And just to make sure we didn't forget about the airplanes. Just prove they're part of the show here also, but